Welcome to the Ourlanders Podcast. Ourlanders Podcast is here to shed light on all things business in the outdoors. My name is Jaime, and I'm with my good amigo,
Kingston.
What's up? All smooth intro on that one.
My name is Kingston. All right.
This one, I think we're going to go a little bit more on like the business side of things. Put
Yeah.
our business hats on, maybe a little on the creative side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're just going to riff about the off-road,
Industry
industry in general.
Yeah, where we see it headed.
Because this year there's like a good amount of stuff happening now that people are going back to, normal life, I guess,
Normalcy.
or whatever.
Yep.
A little bit of normalness.
Kind of. People are Shadow's also
Shadow's upset about
the
COVID.
industry. He's pissed on the industry, dude. So mad about it. But I think this year or last year and this year and the year before that, dude, the industry has been booming.
Yeah. That's definitely one thing that I was pretty surprised about.
Yeah.
Like seeing just and hearing of companies just doing just like really, really well.
Yeah, and just pushing themselves to, I think, to certain limits. Like I feel like a lot of businesses that I saw were really kind of strapped and like trying to keep themselves in like a confined box of like, this is what we do, we're going to do it really well.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of businesses in like our industry just go like, we're going to just full send, start trying to produce more, buy bigger spaces, put more money into development.
There's a lot of new companies too.
Tons of new companies.
New products.
Companies going from like international coming to United States because our industry was doing so well. So now we have a lot of more wholesalers doing stuff now.
Yeah.
So I guess like what we're trying to figure out is like, where do we see the industry headed now? Because this happens to many industries. When Kingston was growing up and even when I was growing up, skating boomed.
Yeah.
Like the whole Blink-182 era,
Sure, yeah.
That shit was like, if you skated, that was cool.
Yeah.
And like,
and a lot of stuff came from it. CCS. Oh my God. I used to love looking at those mail order things.
I would circle stuff as if I was going to just drop $300 at like 13 years old.
When it, like I had money, but yeah.
Damn. You just threw it back. I used to love getting those mail orders. And you would get, that's when like brands were like the coolest thing ever because they had all the t-shirt, all the graphics.
Oh yeah. It
And
was like just, I mean, like, remember like the JCPenney, Christmas booklet, like that was like this thick. It was like
was like
thick.
a catalog.
Yeah.
I don't remember those.
I don't know. It was just like, yeah, it was just crazy to think that everything was printed like that, and then you would order it, via mail or
there was
or whatever.
I think that was like catalogs were still a thing. It's so funny because like I don't do many retailers now.
You don't send out catalogs, right?
No, I don't like doing catalogs, but with like Seal stuff, I've done catalogs just because it's retail driven.
Yeah.
But I'll just print like 2. But some companies, when I used to work at the footwear company, they would just print like thousands and like
catalogs,
send them out into the world.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's the way of like your portfolio in a way for clothing.
Yeah.
They want to get that wholesale because that's back then. I would assume that's how they made money is wholesale versus direct to consumer.
Yeah, there wasn't really.
I don't even think there was direct to consumer.
No, not at all actually. So there was surfing. Surfing was huge too.
I'm not zero info on surfing.
Well, okay, so I think it was like that whole action sports world because when skating was sick, surfing was like also in its heyday with like Lost surfboards. Quicksilver was obviously still popping. Like there was brands that just like everyone wanted to be wearing some logo that represented like skate or surf culture. You know?
That's interesting because it probably was like that out here.
Yeah, big time.
But East Coast, it was
skate.
It was like, skate, or like for me, it was BMX stuff.
BMX was big,
and then the popular, I guess, stuff.
Yeah, that was
at the time.
That's like action sport. Remember when X Games? Did you ever go to X Games?
I love the X Games. No, I was never able to go.
So I used to go almost every year when I was a kid because it was at the Home Depot Center.
Oh yeah, see, you guys always got like I feel like more of like that stuff. Where I was at, there's nothing.
Southern California was the hub for action sports.
Yeah, not where I'm from.
Kingston's New Hampshire. He's just looking
like,
at CCS like
I'm just watching it on TV.
Yeah, but then people in New Hampshire who spent money too to buy all this stuff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, yeah, we had like this skate shop called Red Alert. It's still, I think it's still around.
That's skate shops. That was like the steez.
And everyone wanted to work there. And like, we even had a snowboard shop too. I forget what the name was. I think my brother worked there for a hot second. And it was so small, but I mean,
it was, but
everything like, yeah, everything like that, like those kind of culture things were like so small and close knit.
It's so funny. And that's like the community would only shop there like for back to school or like buy their completes or whatever was like Dex. Remember that movie I was telling you about recently, mid-90s?
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Yeah,
that was like a throwback to like
that
skate shops.
It made you, it gave you all kinds of feels.
All the feels just coming out right now.
You're going to cry?
No, okay. Maybe later. Okay, so I think what I'm trying to figure out is like, if this is like the heyday, is this the heyday for the off-road market? Is this the heyday for like the camp overland market right now?
100%.
Damn.
It's like, we're reaching the peak, I think. COVID really, I think it, in a way, shortened the life of it in a way, because if you look at Overland, okay, so if you went to Overland Expo in 2019,
tiny.
It was no, it was
no.
Tiny.
I'm sorry, the one before that was tiny.
No, they're okay. Like the one I went to was pretty big.
Did you go to West or East?
West.
Yeah,
and then last year, obviously no expo. But then this year, I predict. And since they delayed it till, basically fall almost, that there's going to be just so many people going to end up going.
Yeah.
Because Utah, like on my wedding day, lifted the mask mandate.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
No way.
So Utah is open. Nevada is open, like fully open June 1st.
How do you pronounce
Nevada?
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 I thought it was Nevada.
Nevada or Nevada?
Huh.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Nevada.
Both at the mask mandate and the fact that you pronounce it Nevada.
Yeah. So these states are opening, and they like Arizona for sure is probably like coming up next any time now.
100%.
And then you have like Texas and Florida that's been open and had zero issues with it, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what the real information is? But like, my point is that people have been cooped up all for a year, and there's new people getting into the industry, and then they have like these 3 big overland events. It's like Overland Expo Mountain is first now. That's in Colorado, which I'll be at. And then Overland Expo West, which is in Arizona.
That one's my favorite. That's the one I've been to. Yeah,
that one. That's like the main event, and then that's the month after, I believe, in September. And then you have Overland Expo East, like about 2 weeks after West.
Yep.
So yeah, look at 22,000 people.
Yeah.
At 2019.
So 2019 was the first year I went, and this is when it was like, obviously the market was definitely like ticking. It was like a ticking time bomb, like ready to explode, and in a good way.
Look
like
all those
pop
people
off.
not wearing masks.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Idiots.
You probably just see me back here just trying to get free beer from a booth somewhere. I saw you that time.
Yeah.
That was cool. But 22,000 guests walked through the gates to take it all in.
Yeah, it was cold.
But what I'm trying to figure out is from 2018, there was a 30% increase in event exhibitors from 2018.
Yeah, there you go.
That's 30, but only exhibitors. So it just shows you how many brands.
Yeah.
Also came into the picture.
From 2018 to 2019.
In 1 year, 30% increase. That's freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah. You know who we should have is Jessica from Lodge. They're the ones.
Oh, Lodge Enterprise.
Yeah, or Lodge.
Enterprise.
Is it Enterprise?
Yeah, they do all the adventure whatever. expos and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so they do. They're gonna have, and then they have one in Utah on June 25th.
Yeah,
It's called Adventure Expo, I think.
that's the one they had in Costa Mesa too.
Yeah, so Four Wheeler did an event with them in Costa Mesa.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
And then they're basically turning that. I think that was called Adventure Expo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to basically take that and put it in Utah. I don't think Four Wheeler is a part of this one.
No.
But, so they're going to have that June 25th, which I think I'm going to go. She told me to swing by, but like, yeah, we could, like, that'd be a great person to talk to because like they're seeing like just spikes
everywhere,
just everything.
Which is what
this guy just cruising with the fridge.
Dometic, all these guys just spending thousands of dollars.
It's a great place to buy stuff.
It is. The crazy part though is nothing is freaking. I mean, it is, but it's also not cheap. This market's just insanely cool.
Yeah,
but it's all gadgets and they're all priced at premiums, and people are interested to buy it. So it's like a lucrative market.
No taxes.
Yeah. So I think. If we saw that from 2018 to 2019, I'm curious to see once 2020 rolls around.
21.
Obviously, well, yeah, then it was flatlined for events, but the industry in itself, which is e-com specific, brands popping up, brands making stuff, like that didn't slow down.
Well, if it's 30% from 2018 to 2019, and it was 30, let's say it's 30% from 2019 to 20, 60%.
So that means it'd be like 100,000 in attendance, and they were pretty maxed out in that freaking area too.
And that's where it is this year.
Yeah,
I don't. They could grow into a little bit. Yeah, there was definitely limiting space, but they could grow into it.
That's crazy.
What's crazy is if it's fully open and there's no cap on people, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Okay,
and if you go to Overland Expo West,
yeah,
my truck is gonna be in the Rigid Industries booth
and the Easy Supplies booth. Crazy. Oof.
You're just gonna double up.
Just double up.
All right.
Just
I don't think Albert knows that.
Sorry, Albert. But I do see this kind of the heyday. But at the same time, I don't. I still think we're pretty early on because in 2012. No, not 2012. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Off, and then after, that's when like the outdoors became trendy in general. So like
2012.
REI started booming. That was reaching like the younger demographic, the college kids, because that's when I was going into college. Is 2012.
Yeah.
And that's when like Polar popped off. Danner boots, like just a bunch of brands that were like kind of older or new and just became like cool again, right?
Yeah,
and then REI had record numbers, but overlanding wasn't a thing. It was just like car camping.
Yeah, REI is starting to kind of like just touch on the overlanding as in quotations.
Yeah.
They basically just carry the fridge and rooftop tents, I think.
Yeah.
For the most part, to be specific.
I think they're pretty late to the game, though, dude. I think if I was REI, they should have hopped on that shit like 5 years ago.
Yeah. But I don't know. They might have politics where they might not like, because there's outdoor groups that do not like the
REI?
No, that don't like the vehicle based like
I can see
outdoors stuff.
They're more of like backpacking, that kind of vibe. But yeah, so I think so going
maybe
back
REI
to
is trying to like
balance it
out.
Yeah. So let's say 2012 is when it popped off, and there was the outdoor trends, the cooler brands coming in, like more of the vintage brands becoming cool again.
Yeah,
that's when like Topo popped up, and Topo is like huge now.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're cool, and so I think for like the overland market or like this more like car camping culture. If it's 2012 and it's still doing well for outdoors, and now this is like a new layer to the cake, I think it's pretty fresh right now.
Yeah, it totally could be. And then, we had the episode of electric cars,
and they're getting into it.
So if like that, I guess that adds into the time frame, like how people are going to be enjoying the outdoors in different ways.
Yep. If car companies are creating. I mean, these companies have tons of marketing dollars, and they see that putting a rooftop tent is like the most viable thing to market the vehicle right now for a launch. Like that, if that doesn't tell you something about the industry, like that's crazy. You know?
Oh, well, that adds into a point where it's more accessible with different vehicles.
Yeah, 100%.
So like you got all like the Subaru people and like shit. Like even I saw a RAV4 with a rooftop tent, and if they're lighter, then basically any car can.
Nothing wrong with it.
This could be another episode. Take a note.
Here we go.
What is overlanding? Because like.
That's
I saw this loaded. On yeah, no, it's a loaded question. So I saw a question on a Facebook group, and there's a lot of interesting remarks on it. But basically, you know, it's like, is it just car camping? You know, in a way. But regardless of actually, we should do an episode on that.
It is car camping.
But like what I'm saying is like if it's accessible to anyone, and you want to just like you don't want to bring a freaking ground tent, it's basically like let's throw a tent on the roof.
Yeah.
And if you're going, for 4 or 5 weeks out of your summer, then you just take it off.
Okay, so I just had a thought, and before I forget it, I don't want I'm not trying to dog on anyone, but I think why people hate on the word overlander, I think it's overused, is exactly why the industry is doing well. Because back then, everyone dressed like a surfer or a skater, and that's what made the industry pop, because everyone wanted to look like it. So now you have car camping, but no one wants to say I'm a car camper. Like, I'm an overlander.
Yeah.
So I buy all the products to fit into that culture.
Sure, yeah.
And that's because now it's becoming a collective culture, like surfing and skating and BMXing, but people love to be part of a community.
Yeah.
And so overlanding never had
it's using that term to create that community.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with it, but the actual hardcore surfer, like let's just say Jamie O'Brien, right? He's like surfer through and through, but he doesn't like the stigma, right? I don't think he wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm a surfer all the time, surf. He's just like, I surf. Like, he doesn't need to fit into a lifestyle. He just is the lifestyle.
That's what, yeah.
Does that sound super kooky? I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
If we had someone else that knew the fuck that you're talking about, it'd probably be better.
I have Jack in the back, and I needed a thumbs up from him if that was kooky or not. I got a thumbs up, so we're good. Apparently.
Yeah, no, I think, it's exactly it, though. It's people
want to be part of it.
It's giving it a label.
Yep.
And as much as like people were all about not having labels and stuff, but it's like that's what it
sells.
would fit into.
Yeah, people love being part of the
and there's nothing wrong with that community either, because like it's like I did BMX because I didn't want to play sports.
Yeah.
And I didn't call myself a BMXer or whatever the word may be, but but that's what I did, and that's who I hung out with.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got involved into something extremely, like, I never considered myself like a dirt biker or
same. I
surfer,
like,
or
I ride
skater.
dirt bikes, but there's no way I would consider myself a person that is like dirt biker. Like,
no,
I don't know.
But
I don't even consider myself an overlander.
What?
No,
you're an overlander. He literally on the back on his license plate, if you guys ever look closely, it says I overland, and then it has at roaming law. So
does it?
No,
he's kidding. Nah.
Yeah,
but like I don't know.
Even when people ask me like what easy supplies, like, oh, what do you guys sell? I do say car camping, off-road.
Yeah.
Because I think if I say, oh, we're like an overlanding company, it doesn't it's kind of
like
kooky.
Vibe, right?
Yeah. You don't want to, I don't want to.
It's just like the reason why I think it feels weird is because the word comes from like, the people in Australia or South Africa that are like
serious,
legit.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess it would technically come, or whatever. It comes from wherever. But,
yeah.
But overlanding is just like, to me, vehicle based.
Oh, let's look this shit up real quick. Let's see the actual definition of overlander. Overlanding.
This episode's going to be both things.
Definition.
The definition of overlanding. Or look up the Wikipedia one, because it actually was pretty good. I looked it up the other day.
Where is this shit? On Wikipedia?
Yeah, right there. Overlanding.
Okay. Everyone ready for this? Overlanding is a self-reliant overland travel to remote destinations where the journey is the principal goal. Typically, but not exclusively, it is accomplished and mechanized off-road capable transport from bicycles to trucks, where the principal form of lodging is camping, often lasting for extended lengths of time, month to year, and spanning international boundaries.
Yeah.
So I think here, like
this is where the difference between American and international is the month to years.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Because
essentially we're just driving on paved roads to a campsite. So it's like the industry is like halfway there, but it's like a half-cooked thought.
But the problem is that America doesn't really allow you to just like do these like crazy off-road only like excursions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna probably drive through someone's like private property or something.
But most of it's highway.
Yeah,
that's the structure of the freeways are for, is to get places quicker. But yeah, I mean, it's just traveling via vehicle, and where that journey is the main,
It's also the terrain. Like sometimes we'll like the videos that we'll watch where you're saying 4x4.
Yeah.
Like they're extremely difficult terrain, and most times.
Sure. Yeah. And then you're talking like what's rock crawling and like what's like these like Jeep trails versus like fire roads and all that.
So do you think, what's your consensus? Do you think that overlanding in this whole market is like new, or do you think it's in the heyday right now?
Yeah, I guess after talking a bit, I guess it is pretty new.
Yeah.
Because overlanding as a word didn't really come to America until like in a mainstream sense, like maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's still pretty new.
Yeah. Car camping's always been a thing, like building out your truck. And like
I did all that before I even knew that it was like considered anything that it was.
I think then people get mad because they're like, well, then you're trying to make a thing that's not really a thing. But it's like that's just part of the industry.
Yeah.
Like you have to put some type of, that's why people hate business though, because the businesses just want to try to monetize everything you can.
Yeah, but you can't blame businesses for doing that, because that's how business is born, is because they want to make money off of an industry.
Well, yeah. What's the community they're serving, and what's the best way they can do it? You know?
That's like for me. I create content, or like, actually, I've been trying to get away from the word content.
Content's kind of lame, huh? Like I'm a content creator, so it's so washed out too.
Yeah, I feel that's a whole other thing. But like, I create videos and photos for outdoor, and mainly in an off-road or overland sense, right?
Yeah.
And I'm making a profit off of that. So,
but you also live it. You're not kooking it either.
Well, yeah, but it's like that's my main focus. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, is that bad to take advantage of like that?
Okay, so that's a really, really good point. It's like the taking advantage part. Here we're getting into a whole different can of worms, because now I'm going to throw another industry in the mix that recently has this whole thing, is fishing.
Okay.
Fishing was always like the salty old man kind of like mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like fishing necessarily wasn't like cool. It wasn't like
a pastime. It was like
exactly like the salty dudes here that fish in like San Pedro or wherever.
Sure.
And then it became a cool thing. Like there was brands that branded it really well, and it coincided with surfing. So then the brand Salty Crew came alive, and Mad Huey's, and it was just like a thing that's like, let's go fishing and with the boys, and it's like a whole vibe. And then it became cool, right? So then now you see it in surf shops, you see it in Southern California. People call themselves fishermen. It's a cool thing, right?
Yeah.
So now it's not cool, and these brands like the Mad Huey, Salty Crew, even like a local brand here, Haggard Pirate, like there's brands that actually live these things.
Yeah.
But then there's the people that take advantage of it, that make it makes it like, it leaves people with a bad taste.
Yeah,
it's like kooky, and there's like fly by night brands that just throw like a tuna on a shirt and try to call themselves like a fishing brand. So I can see it with like Overland. It's already throwing a bad taste in my mouth with brands, because it's like, they just put like a Land Cruiser on a shirt and they call themselves like an off-road brand. But I'm like, do they live it? Like, who are these guys? What's their story? Do they actually give anything back to the community?
But it's like, then who's the like overarching power that's saying that it's kooky or not?
The community.
Yeah, I guess so.
The community is like who is like giving them the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I don't know.
Because if you were a content creator, right?
Sure.
And you didn't live, you claimed you lived the life.
I just did it on like it's like as if, but that's the thing is like, I go at it as an authentic outlook of it, right?
You take your truck and go and shoot.
Yeah.
And camp.
But like someone could totally hire someone like with a truck.
Yeah.
And like, if I didn't have a truck and I didn't have anything, I just did work in LA.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then a client was like, can you
formulate
it?
Yeah.
Could do that too. Cause that's what like a photographer does.
They hire the talent, find the vehicle,
do
all. Yeah.
Well, technically a photographer doesn't do that. Like it does. It's like creative director and photographer. But the point is that you can formulate that outcome even if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And then you have a brand like LL Bean, right? And they want that outlook.
We've talked about that in past episodes though. Remember community, how to find your niche and serve them well. That episode, we talked about all the excursions that we do.
Yeah.
And the content that we get from them. They're not forced, but it's some shit that you would see like a Eddie Bauer, LL Bean pay thousands of dollars to be a part of because they're like, that looks like a cool lifestyle. We want to be a part of it. All you have to do is throw money at it.
They're buying into it.
And they're buying the lifestyle.
But is that wrong?
I don't know. I think it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're taking away from people like you and I that like that's how we survive.
Yeah.
We like sell the lifestyle that we're living and we're selling the product to keep living the lifestyle.
But your point of view would change if they hired you.
LL Bean?
Yeah. If LL Beam came to me and did the same shoot and it would offer me like 10 grand, I would fucking take that shit.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing though, if like your name was on it, it's like Roaming Lost sponsored by LL Bean, I'd be like, that's fucking badass.
I wouldn't do that.
Really?
No, I would just shoot the campaign and be done with it. And I wouldn't be in it. Like I would do exactly what I'm saying. I'm gonna hire out all the work or all the people, the talent, and rent the truck if needed and just put together a shoot and get it done. And then that's like a commercial job,
I guess.
But that's like me as a business person versus like me as like a outsider, like looking in, like being like, oh, that's kind of lame.
I think that's when the industries, and that's why we're going to start seeing is bigger corporations wanting to be a part of it, throwing money. And what happens though?
Yeah.
It fucking dies because it's like, it becomes unraw. Like it loses that lack of lust.
But it happens with
every industry. But I'm just saying like I'm hoping.
It's like you're trying to hold on to that as long as you can.
Yeah. Which is kind of fucked. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. No, it's already happening.
I know.
It's already happening.
Damn, we just went from like our industry was crushing it to like,
but it's crushing it. It's totally crushing it in the sense of like money. Yeah,
monetarily,
it's great.
I was just on the call with Wolf Enduro yesterday or 2 days ago, and he was like, "How did the Seal Beach kid get involved in overlanding?" And I was like, "I used to work at the surf shop, so we'd go take the truck. We wouldn't build them up super hard. We'd put all-terrains, camper shell, sleep in them, go to cool places, travel, off-roaded when I was a kid. And just because I was doing it, and then the industry pops, so it worked.
Yeah." And you didn't even know you were a part of anything until
it became a thing.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I don't know. That's like the funny part.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like, it's just, I guess you can't take everything too seriously. Is like really what it all boils down to is like, if you want to go camping in your car or like however you want to do it. I guess that, you don't have to get caught up in the whole politics and business aspect of it, especially if you're just like a consumer.
I'm still stoked.
Take advantage of all the brands that are coming out and like putting out really cool shit.
See, that's what I was just gonna get at next. Is like when we go to these events, like let's just say Expo, right?
Yeah.
And you see all these brands. There's familiar brands, there's new brands, but they're all serving the market pretty well.
Yeah.
But then if we just saw, like, I don't know if I would be as stoked like if I just saw like a huge
Well, yeah, like an
conglomerate, LL Bean,
shit.
just like trying to fit in and be like,
Sorry, LL Bean.
because then it's all again, another brand is taken away from, like the brand that loves it is off the grid off the grid.
Yeah.
Off grid. What is it called?
Off grid.
Off grid. No, off the grid surplus.
Off the grid.
And they make some sick shit.
Yeah, they're great clothes.
Yeah, better than Prana, right? And then let's just say Prana decides to throw all of its money involved in Overland.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well now.
Then they kind of like overtake it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that weird vibe, dude.
But then it's like I don't think Prana would take away from Off the Grid's like client base because or
It's
customers
pretty
because
core.
it's like they already know what's up. You know, there's like it's American made, it's like legit, and then Prana's just would come in and make Chinese like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make it the same price,
Same price. Yeah.
but it's cheaper,
Yeah, I think
like quality.
I think at the biggest takeaway on this episode right now is there is a lot of opportunity in this market right now.
Yeah, I think where a brand can really stand out is being a part of the community
In a honest way.
and serving it in the best way they can. And like I saw a job
Listing
job listing for Onyx. If you go to look up Onyx Off-Road.
their careers.
Yeah,
I was
careers.
just on their website the other day. Okay, wait, but before I forget, we have an episode from Arlander's podcast called "Find Your Niche and Serve That Community," and I feel like we're kind of talking about.
Yeah,
that.
you should listen on that one. If you
Okay, so we're on
haven't heard it.
onyxmaps.com. You guys should check them
Careers.
out. They're one of the main apps that we use when we're off-roading because it has freaking everything at your fingertips.
So they have look up current job openings.
Right here. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, they're hiring like crazy. But go down.
Marketing.
Let's go to off-road. So check this out. Check out this job.
Stewardship
So
specialist.
it's called stewardship specialist.
In Missoula,
Yeah.
Montana.
Check
Pioneer. Should
out.
I read it?
Yeah, just read this one.
Okay. The stewardship specialist, it's kind of a mouthful, will work with staff members of the trail guide, marketing, strategic business development, GIS teams to tell the Onyx off-road data story, provide the public and policymakers with information about the challenges of off-road recreation access, collaborate with government agencies and nonprofit organizations working on access issues, encourage grass. Okay, so essentially they're like leading the.
I guess you could read the first part too, but I was trying to cut it down, but it's a really interesting job.
Yeah, essentially they're making like this role would be, is Onyx doing its due diligence to serve the community as best as possible?
Yeah,
And keeping it raw, like rootsy.
it's like
That's awesome.
it's so sick that a company is literally dedicating a salary for this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I don't know. I've never seen that before, so it's like that's why it stood out so
Yeah.
much.
I mean, I don't think it would be bad. Like, there's could be a lot of good of it because there's a lot of businesses really crushing it in other sections. And if they came into this market, which is like the car camping culture, overland,
Yeah,
they have big dollars to spend on like
they could
to
do
make shit
good.
better,
Yeah,
or they can just
think
take advantage of it. Doesn't matter. You can
I
see
think
it
there's a
both
lot
ways.
of what consumers can do is put pressure on brands to do better.
Do more.
Yeah, totally.
Do more.
Just take a little bit of your profits, like, even if you took like 5% of your profits and did something with it,
Yeah.
it'd be sick.
I mean, dude, the reason our land was up and running is because I used money from Easy just to fund some of the shit in the beginning.
Yeah, and Gary threw in some money for investment.
You pitched in your time or photo
and then it ended up paying back. Like you guys got your money back.
I think
And
so.
then-
I hope so.
Yeah, I think the initial investment got their money back, right?
Okay. Yeah. I got to look at the spreadsheet.
Yeah, but either way, it's like, and now we're able to kind of push it even further, and it's just a little bit at a time. But
That's our way of giving back, though.
that's how. Yeah, it's like we're doing the best we can with what we have. I mean, it's not like we're making thousands of dollars and like 5% of whatever I mean, there's not even 5% there, but eventually, you know, right now it's all going back into our land versus like into pockets, but the brand is like, it's not what it technically is about.
I'm excited though. I'm excited. I can't say I'm nervous because I mean it is what it is. Industries come and they go.
Yeah.
You know, there's surf shops. The surf shop I worked at was from 1959, and it's still around. One of the oldest surf shops in Southern California.
Yeah.
And they stick to one thing, and they only stuck to surfing, and they're still doing business.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like for me, I have to adapt, but
yeah,
I wanted to do outdoors, so that's what I worked for.
Yeah, you were doing outdoors, and you kind of segued more into the whole truck world.
Yeah, and then like before that was clothing and coffee and
fucking streetwear,
so much other stuff.
Your Instagram back then was Kingston_swag_. Yeah, right.
That was just Kingston photo.
He's just swag. He's just swag.
But yeah, no, I think that to cap it all off, the industry is growing, and I guess my initial thought was that we're in the height of it, but maybe not.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Overland Expo West goes.
Yeah, me too.
That's gonna be a freaking eye opener. We have to be there.
I might be at everyone.
Yeah,
even East.
With your truck, you have the sponsors, but I'm saying Easy needs to fucking show up.
Yeah, you guys. I'm surprised you don't have a booth, to be honest.
I don't even see anything yet. Is it even a thing right now?
Oh, it's happening.
Well, I'm not gonna. You're talking. Have you gone to Utah and like done those, right?
What are you talking about?
Like you're saying some already happened?
No, it's like they're going to be happening.
Yeah. Well, I would look into it and buy a spot.
Well, it's
I don't even know.
Late.
Yeah,
I think
those things fill up like in 2 days.
I think you're a little late to the boat there.
Yeah, we'll cut that out. No,
but no, you should do.
Regardless, we'll be there in some capacity.
Yeah, you guys will for sure be there. But I'm saying booth would have been sick.
I'll probably. I mean, you know what's the most fucking guerrilla tactic ever? Is to have
Slang
all
them out of a backpack.
No, because it could be to sell, yes, which is what people do. But any of our homies that were there with the rig shown, fucking throw rig caddies on all their shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there to sell t-shirts. I'm there to sell rig caddies.
Yeah,
dude.
You better get V2s going.
V2s coming in my hand probably by the end of next week.
All right, let's go.
All right, I think that was a good episode. If you guys have questions, just hit us up with it.
Yeah, ourland.project on Instagram.
Yeah, at Roaming Lost, at Easy Supplies. We run all of those crazy ones. So
and watch the video on Roaming Lost YouTube, and then you can look up Ourlanders podcast. There's a whole playlist.
If you're on Apple, if you listen to this shit on Apple, we had actually a ton of reviews.
If you want to see some nice things that people have to say, check out Apple Podcast reviews.
Super cool.
And add a nice thing. Keep that negative.
I don't know if those were bots or not because they were like too nice. I was like, damn.
I was like, I've never got a compliment like this.
I was all blushing reading this. But yeah, Apple, subscribe, tell your homies if you're like, yo, these guys are kind of kooky. Yeah. Tell them. Let them make their own decision.
Yeah.
They might be into it.
They might be. All right.
Our Landers podcast out.